Hey everybody, ModelMan here. January 1st, 2012, FlightLog 22. The model is coming along. We're down to these fiddly bits here, and all this freezing wall stuff is done, as far as I can tell. There's some clear and brass up there we'll get to probably in the next FlightLog. Up here we've got some command control center kind of things. And over here we've got more of the chairs. And a couple other small pieces. These four, 1, 2, 3, 4, have been replaced by brass parts from Paul Bow at PGMS. The handles up here do need to be painted. This guy here is no longer being used. Over here, I don't know what these two parts go for. The rest is the chair. Up here, I'm going to leave that till last. It doesn't need to be done until it gets put in, and it's the very last thing that's going down. I can definitely tell that. Over here, all these parts are bagged and ready for their next stage. All but one of these pieces up here has been sealed in matte clear, and the wall struts over here still have to get their first paint. So this part has me worried here. There are obviously 4 injection molding points, it looks like, but I'm wondering if that detail is supposed to be there. The painting directions call for flat black with aluminum details, but other than that, it's pretty vague. There is no close photo or illustration of the top of this piece close enough in any of the photos that you can see what's going on. The black will definitely hide it, but it'll still be there. So as I was saying, up here, it's the last of the freezer wall parts that need to be done. There's some clear parts and brass etching that I got to get to related to that. But this is just about it, and those walls are pretty much done. Got 5 fire extinguishers. Looks like a computer tape log, the emergency round red ball thing, a couple panels, and the elevator thing. So let's get painting these and see how they go. And I'll also be starting to test fit the computer control things up here with the computer command console thing. So let's get to that as well. There's going to be some photo etch going on that piece. I've kind of left this one for last overall, simply because I don't know exactly how I want to approach it. Being able to take apart this entire model is one of my goals on this one. Completely repairable as far as LEDs and stuff like that goes. I want to be able to pull out a failed component down the road. Let's do some painting for a little bit. Some of this I'm actually going to cheat and use some silver Sharpie. Maybe some black. We'll see. Let's get painting. As I get ready to start painting, let's take a look at a few things here. I organized a lot of the parts. All of this is the freezer wall, and there's still these walls here. And the third wall is... I found that third wall piece. Bagged in here is pretty much everything except for the chairs that I need for the command console. Looking through one of the painting guide updates, it turns out this entire section is 1706. So I'll throw that back in the paint pile eventually. I'm going to work on right now, though, put those aside up here, is these chairs and a lot of the parts that go with these chairs. Rather than using silver paint and breaking all that out, silver Sharpie is really good stuff. So I'm just finishing these parts off here. Still going to have to do a little touch up with the Sharpie once I cut these parts off the sprue, but it's a lot easier doing this much painting here and now. I've been debating whether to leave these circles in the details here white, which most of them are pretty much now, or do a silver fill-in. Or even maybe a dot of black for each and then mixed with silver. That's definitely a darker color. Let's do it. We'll go for full black first, and then silver on top of that. The small hole is just small enough to barely miss getting the full treatment, but these armrests are a different design here. Definitely nice. Very simple effect, very easily achieved, very easily replicated. Might want to give this one a go for yourself. If you want it dark, just barely put any silver in there. If you want it kind of light, then pour a lot of silver in there. Let's redo this one. On the smaller holes, there is a little bit of a smudge going on, so we're going to spread that out and get rid of it. I just used 2 different silver Sharpies on purpose because this one has a sharper tip and is therefore newer. And then I think the only other parts I got to finish silvering up are these right here. Now I was surprised to see how much silver is on this piece. It looks like it'd be mostly black rubber with maybe some silver handles. It's not quite the case, but I will be using black Sharpie on this too, I think. So again, these 2 and these 2 and that are not being used anymore, these being replaced by the PGMS photo etch. Part number 68, I still haven't seen that around. The chair is mostly 60s, but it doesn't go with that. I'll just have to keep looking, it's somewhere. Anytime you can use a Sharpie to do your painting, I highly recommend it. A fresh pen can give you better results than any paintbrush or other method. This does have me wishing that I did have a copper or brass color Sharpie. And I think this black Sharpie is going to work out, especially for the leather. This is another reminder to check the model company's website. Sometimes they'll put a correction document for painting errors or other things that didn't quite make the final cut of the instruction sheets. And in this case, the original instructions for painting these seats was just a little wrong. Or they didn't get the revisions in time for the publisher. Either way, there's a PDF at the website. These are footstools for the chair, and they're pretty much invisible once the rest of the chair goes together. There we go. Chair face, of course, is painted black. Let's see how a Sharpie does on this. You know what? I think I'm liking the Sharpie. This goes down really nice. It's pretty much instantly dry, though the amount that I'm putting on, it is staying a little tacky for a few minutes. Coverage is good. Now just glue these parts together. Little dab here, another dab there, and they should be all done.